Hey guys, what's up? This is Josh. Just doing an update here. These summer updates don't happen as often because of how busy I am, but I've got some stuff growing in here along this line here. I've got garlic right there coming up and some barley down the line there. And then I've got a lot of basil in here, as you can see. I'm growing a lot of basil because we're going to try and transplant it into pots and sell the pots and the basil plant whole at the farmer's market. And then I've got some more basil or some more barley there, lots of basil and barley, so that's cool for that. I don't know if you can see, it's a little dark in here. Yeah, it doesn't look like you'll be able to see anything, but there's some fish in there. There's maybe about 7 or 8 babies that are doing pretty well, and I've got a bunch down in this tank in here. There's about 5 or 6. There's 1 male and I think 4 females. So I'm going to move them to this tank over here. It's a 55-gallon. I moved about 5 males out, and this tank's empty right now because for a while I couldn't figure out if they were male or female, and once they got bigger I was able to figure that out a lot easier. So I sent about 5 males outside to the tanks to grow out there. So this tank here had a bit of a problem. About 3 fish died. They were just, I think it was like a fish bladder or the swim bladder infection type thing. I must have been feeding them a little too much with that, I think. So one's still alive, but he's not eating. I did cut off the food for about 3 or 4 days, and he still isn't eating, or she. So she's kind of not really been moving too much, so I don't know if she'll pull through. I put some aquarium salt in there to try and to fix it, so hopefully we'll see if it'll fix it. I've got some more basil growing up here, as you can see. I've got some garlic up there too. Back there's some garlic, and right here. I'm not sure if garlic goes well with aquaponics, so I don't know if it's bad for it because it smells like garlic up here, and I don't know if that will be bad for the water or not. So, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully the garlic didn't hurt the fish. Hopefully that wasn't the issue. So, alright, we'll move on outside. This room's doing alright. I've been losing some fish to them jumping out of the tanks outside. So I've already got some screens in place for that. But some other tanks don't have covers on them, unfortunately. So that right there is some of the peppers I've got. There's some cayenne peppers and some chilies. We're hanging them up here to dry. So I don't know what we'll use them for, but we'll go outside here. And here's a pepper plant here. It's doing really well. We've got a lot of chilies and cayenne peppers hanging from there. So I'm happy with that. Let's go here. These tomato plants here are kind of shot. We pulled a bunch of tomatoes off of them, and now they're just, kind of clinging. Now we've got a bunch of flowers on them on this one now, so I don't know if anything will come of that. But I guess we'll have to see. Here's really, there's only 3 plants in here. There's a marigold, as you can see the flowers on the plant. There's a bunch of flowers. And it's attracting plenty of bees, which is good. And I've got a basil plant here. It's huge. I'm letting it go to seed so that I can use the seeds to plant more basil. And then a huge, I mean huge, tomato plant that's covering almost this entire grow bed. It's just now, in the end of August, I guess, beginning of September, starting to flower. You can see some flowers there. It's just now started to flower, and this thing's been planted for a couple months now. It just started growing. I mean, the plant is just absolutely huge. So I'm thinking what was happening was that there was like an iron deficiency or a potassium deficiency in the water. There is plenty of nitrogen for it to grow, a lot of greenery, but it didn't have enough of a certain mineral to get it to flower. So I added some seaweed extract to the water so that the plants would flower more. So, and I think that might have helped. So I've got plenty of okra. We've sold quite a bit of okra at the farmer's market. I think that's our biggest seller, and it grows like a weed. And then I've got my habanero plants here that are just now starting to kind of turn color, turn the orange color. There are a few back there that look like they're getting close to being done. And we've got a ton of habaneros, which I'm excited about. And then some more okra here. It's gotten really big. You see the whole setup here. There's the barrel, and there's the okra. There's cantaloupe here. I don't know if this one's done or not. Last time we tried the cantaloupe, though, it wasn't done, even though it looked done, so oh well. We've got a lot of chilies here too. We pulled off a bunch today. And here's another grow bed, and this is habanero. You can see some of the peppers in there growing. And then that's tobacco, and it's doing really well. And that's another tobacco, and we've got some basil mixed in there. And then another tobacco plant, the biggest one, which is really cool. So I'm hoping that kind of works out. And then basil that I'm letting go to seed. This grow bed here kind of died somewhat because there wasn't any water spraying out of any of these holes, which it looks like they're clogged again, which is ridiculous. So I'll have to get to that. These holes on these PVC pipes clog like crazy, so I'm gonna have to figure out a better design for that. There's a tomato plant here, and another tobacco plant down there, kind of looking a little small. And beans, I guess. Yeah, there's some green beans in there too. I'm gonna have to pull some of them off. But other than that, everything's going well. I bought 2 more tanks over here that I'm gonna get all set up here relatively soon. It's getting a lot cooler outside, so I'm happy about that. And the garden down here is, well, half of it's looking rough, because half of it we just kind of let go because of the cucumber beetles. The squash bugs kind of destroyed half the garden. But, we've got a lot of tomato plants. So, a lot of tomato and okra growing down there. We get most of our okra from down there. That stuff grows like crazy, and it does so well out here in this heat. So, but the fish are doing well in these tanks. The water is pretty clear. You can see directly to the bottom. And it's, I don't know what else to say. The systems are running pretty well, pretty clean. And then, whoa. Yeah, there, I added a larger air pump so that the water would be more aerated for the fish. And so, they're doing pretty well. I don't know if you can see any of these down here, but we'll try. I've had to clean out, I have to clean the filters for the pond pumps about once a month because they get all gunked up. But I'm usually able to tell based on the making sure that the water's coming out, and it's good now. So it's crazy how the roots are kind of growing up to the water. I never thought that would happen, but it has. But other than that, everything's going real well. We've had some losses. Some fish jumped out of that one and this one here because they don't have very good covers. I didn't think they'd be able to jump out of this one because it's mostly covered, but they managed it. So that's mainly where the losses are for the fish, is jumping. And I guess at the beginning of the season I lost about maybe 10 or 15 of them to the cold weather that we had. And it's a learning experience. This is my first batch, so I'm probably not going to get much fish out of it, but I'm hoping that the breeders inside will breed more and I'll get more fish. So if not, I've got all the setup to be able to get another set started. So, alright guys, well, it's nice talking to you, and I guess until next time, later.